We're here for another exciting week of footy. Let's go.
Oh, you G'd up, Benny, eh?
Yeah, baby.
Welcome to No Cap. It's Sol. Benny, thanks for the intro. Superb, once again.
No problem.
And Jacob, becoming a regular these days, eh?
Yeah, boys. What's that now? 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
That's good.
Yeah, man. And talking about the footy, not much happened, did it? I mean...
Not going to introduce me, are you?
Oh, you know what, man? Just chill.
Did I jump up too quick, did I?
What did I say to you before the show?
Know my place, huh?
Research guru Fred, how are you, mate? We gave you a name this week.
Yeah, you've given me that name every week.
Not really. How's the shisha going, all right?
Yeah, mate, she's good. She's about to start cranking.
Yep. Flavour?
Love 66. Again.
What's with this Love 66 bullcrap?
Mate, it's a nice flavour.
Okay, what's the flavor? Relax. Why are you getting jumpy, mate?
Mate, I'm just excited.
Don't get too jumpy.
About it.
Just curious, man. You know.
Yeah, no. Look, Love 66 has.
That's enough from you.
Okay.
That's enough from you. Back to the footy. That's what we're here to talk about. Who impressed you the most last week, boys?
Impressed would be obviously David Fafita for the Titans.
Yeah.
Scored hat-trick, was it? So just the way, he can't be stopped. You know, he's so young, but he's also so big and so quick. Like, how do you stop someone like that? And he's only going to get better too. Like, it's his second or third year in the NRL.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's already taken it by storm. And he's been massive for the Gold Coast this year, and he's only going to get better. And I think a lot of their success will come off the back of his performances.
He's had a lot of pressure coming into it.
100%. But you can tell he's a superstar because he's obviously living up to the hype.
Yeah, of course. And I think the only thing for him now, we saw glimpses of it last year. We're seeing glimpses of it now. He's doing against the big teams. And that's what I think a lot of people want to see. So against Canberra, I think it was a bit quiet there. Canberra did shut him up a bit. But other than that, I mean, that just comes with experience. That comes with games played. I'm with you. I mean, he's not scared of the challenge. That's for sure, 100%. Benny, who impressed you the most last week?
Big Papi leading the Dally M's.
That's what's impressing you now?
Yeah.
Why?
He's scoring tries. People are comparing him and Tedesco together. It's going to give Brad Fittler a headache in a few weeks picking the team.
You think Papi or Little Papi?
Oh, well, he's pretty big for scoring 4 tries in 11 minutes.
Okay.
He's still going on about that, huh?
Yeah.
Nah, but you reckon it's going to be a selection headache for Freddie? You don't think it's just they're going to play him 14, 31? Or you reckon he might start Pappenhausen?
He will find Pappenhausen a spot in the starting side.
Starting side?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It might not be Tedesco's spot, but he'll find him a spot.
That's a bit cool.
Who's that? No, I don't think he's going to be... Like, if he's not fullback, he won't be in the starting side. I think Fittler will learn from what he did last year, putting players out of position. But if he was to be in the Origin side, I think it'd be the perfect utility coming off the bench because he can play in the halves, he can play at fullback.
He can play lock. I mean, come in there.
Yeah, he debuted at lock. So, you can't take it off Teddy just yet. Like,
okay, you're saying you find him a spot, yeah?
Yeah.
Where would he play him? Where do you think he'd play him?
Can't you play him on the wing?
No.
I think he'd be wasted on the wing there, wouldn't he?
Why would you?
I don't know. Like I don't think
the
it's
speed.
No, of course. I just think his skill set would. I think it'd be wasted on the wing personally. Like you said, I think utility is probably more the go because you could chuck him in the middle and play him like a second fullback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's going to kill Queensland's forwards, especially when they're buggered.
Similar to what Souths are doing now.
Do you know what I'm
Marshall.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm gonna like to see if Freddie will pick Latrell this year? He's been performing at club level and I'd like to see if...
I think he will be picked. I think he's saying Freddie was going to learn from his mistake. I think Freddie's got no choice but to pick players out of position again because there's too many talented players, man.
Yeah, with Latrell, like, Senna isn't really out of position for him. Like, he
No, but I mean, he hasn't played there in a bit. But I reckon you wouldn't be shocked if you saw Latrell and Wyden.
Yeah, like you saw Trebojevic at Senna, I think 2 years ago.
And Trebojevic, yeah.
Especially that game in Perth when he carved 100%. Up. So it's possible. Like, I think Latrell will obviously get that starting spot. Whether Wyden's the other centre, probably not. I'm not too sure. Like, we've got to remember you got Lomax there, you got Crichton there. So like it's a good problem to have if you're
so many players. So many players, man. I'll tell you who impressed me the most last week. It's easily St. George Illawarra. That performance against Parramatta. I mean, I praised them the week before against Newcastle because they bashed the hell out of them, smashed them. And they did the same thing. They threw the challenge to Parramatta and Parramatta buckled. I was shocked to see that, man. I was very shocked to see that. I mean, I expected Parramatta to... Look, I think they got dudded at a moment. Parramatta, no doubt. I think one of the no tries that got caught.
What moment was that?
When
the Gutherson try.
Yeah. But regardless, St. George deserved to win that. And you can say, there was a 4 pass there and there was a... But stupid calls always happen in games. Just the performance, the 4-pack stood up to Parramatta's 4-pack. And the backs delivered, man. The backs delivered. They just outplayed Parramatta and I was shocked. I don't want to say that they're 100%, oh man, they're going to make the finals now, but I don't think anyone expected them to win 4 in a row. And especially beat Parramatta this early in the season.
Yeah, they definitely outplayed them and outmuscled them too. Like, their forwards were dominating the ruck. If you watch the replay, you'll see a lot of times the St. George forwards getting that quick play the ball and the Parramatta forwards still on the ground. So they definitely surprised a lot of people.
They outworked them. Yeah. They outworked them, and Parramatta have prided themselves on being that team. And I don't think it's like, Parramatta's going to now buckle and struggle and all that. Like, that's not the case at all. But I think it's a lesson for Parramatta because I said they're going to be a tricky team. I did say in the preview they're going to be tricky. You can't take them lightly. They're gonna be a chance, and they were more than a chance. But those are the teams that Parramatta have to deal with way better. I mean, they know when they verse a hard team, they're gonna go hard. They're not gonna put a backward step there. The easy teams they'll take care of. This was a tricky team. They got to learn how to not underestimate them and treat them seriously. They'll learn from that 100%. Moving on, there's a bit of a drama that just bloody blew up this week. Cronulla Sharks, the coaching saga. Seen John Morris leave the post abruptly. Craig Fitzgibbon's been signed for a 3-year deal, I think. And he's stolen Cameron Ciraldo from Penrith as his right-hand man from next year.
I don't know if that's...
I think that's official. The final details are just getting put in place.
All right, he's our insider there. Research guru, can we get to work, please? Thanks, mate. Yeah, just get to work in your Love 66. I'll be honest with you. I don't have an issue with Cronulla going down this route. The issue I had was, why did they do it very sly, and why did they have to lie to John Morris's face? That's my issue. Why did they say he was in with a chance to yesterday? They didn't have to say that. Could have just said to him up front, hey mate, we're going to go a different direction. Why did they didn't handle it well? That's my issue with the Cronulla board.
Yeah. And I think at this point they're going to lose a little bit of faith with the players. They've got a lot of players off contract, and some of them might not re-sign due to the coaching situation. A lot of them were happy being coached under John Morris.
Well, he took them to the last 2 final series. They weren't doing crap under him. Now they weren't doing very well under him. They had their 0-11, I think, against the top 6 sides. But again, I go back to their ambition. They've got the board's got a different vision for the club. I mean, I'm even hearing that Craig Bellamy, they're still chasing him to be the director. So, they're serious. They're very serious. But again, I go back to it. That would have put the players offside, the way it was dealt with.
100%, because he had a good relationship with a lot of the players. He probably played with a few of them too, so they're mates. So you probably, it's like Benny was saying, a few of them are off contract this year, so that could play on the back of some of their minds, you sort of, mistreated our coach that, we backed and we wanted, and, maybe Fitzgibbon could be the right person. Who knows? But how do we know? He hasn't proven himself at an NRL level yet. I think the only thing he has in his favour is he's been in such a good system for a number of years now with the Roosters, and obviously worked under Trent Robinson, which includes 3 grand finals wins. You know, like...
It's not always guaranteed, but like you've seen a lot of coaches come under
of course.
the Rooster system and the Storm system. It's not guaranteed, but Craig Fitzgibbon's got a really good rap, so I'm with you on that.
And a lot of clubs have been after him, and obviously Cronulla saw the chance, like now's the right time to pounce and sign him. Whether, you know, they did not go about it the right way, I'd say.
That's the issue.
And maybe that's something to do with their board. They're not, you know, strong enough to sort of be direct and have that conversation. But then again, you also got to understand, why did they get rid of Morris? You know,
Do you agree that they should have got rid of him? Because I don't have an issue with it. You don't agree?
Like, what has he done wrong for them to get rid of him?
They don't think he's good enough.
Yeah. Which is probably true. We don't know. Maybe he needs a bit more. He got thrown in the deep end straight away.
Look, it's tough for him in his position because he's a good guy. You know what I mean? Like, but are we going to play that card all the time as well? Just they're a good guy and whatever. Yeah. The club has a different perspective. They probably think, or I've heard that they've said, Research Guru, you need to get onto this, that he can't attract players to the club, certain players, and he's bungled a few contract situations, like with Chambers. Even Burton was a chance to go to Cronulla, but he didn't go because they didn't know what the situation was, and he was very unsure. Like, his decision making was very unsure. He didn't want to upset anyone.
Yeah,
that was an issue there.
That's what they say about him. He's not that sort of guy that will have that direct conversation with you. Do you know what I mean? So he probably just wants to keep everyone happy, and that probably comes back to his personality of being Mr. Nice Guy.
Do you reckon that's why the Sharks board went indirectly behind his back and signed Craig Fitzgibbon and told him, look, we're on your side, and then went behind his back to sign a different coach?
That was wrong. They shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Like, they should have been upfront with him at least, to just as respect to the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I reckon you heard it here first. John Morris, assistant coach at the Roosters next year.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, even you're talking about the players that are coming off contract. They're players that are taking up a lot of the salary cap space, and they're the older players. John Morris might have a connection with these guys. They might, back them to get a new deal. You know what I mean? On, just based off loyalty and whatever. Because and that's the issue, right? Because if he can't attract players and he has no choice but to re-sign them, how does Cronulla move on? You know what I'm trying to say? Research Guru.
Well, pretty much Gus Gould was saying that he reckons Craig is going to be clearing 3 mil of the cap, getting rid of the guys that are taking most of it, and I think he'd be referring to those older guys, as you were saying. So maybe on something, Sol.
Well, there you go. And then they think that with that money, Craig Fitzgibbon is a better option, or is the better choice in terms of recruiting players to the Sharks, instead of John Morris, who's probably just going to re-sign these guys.
Look, for the future of the club, it's probably the right choice. The way they went about it, definitely the wrong choice.
That's it, yeah.
And with that Serraldo, if he's coming to be an assistant coach, I'd imagine he'd be on much more money than what he's on at Penrith, because what they've built there is unbelievable. Yeah. And, he's doing so well. But he also played for the Sharks too, so there might be... I've heard he lives down there.
He's with the community there.
Yeah, so it must be money or whatever it may be.
So it's a win-win for both coaches. Like,
I don't know if it's a win-win for John Morris.
Not John Morris, for Craig Fitzgibbon and the assistant coach.
Serraldo, yeah.
One lives in Ostomy and the other one lives in Cronulla area.
Stop. How did you know that? Who told you that one? Are you friends with the family?
Yeah.
I think the research guru's lost his spot after that,
mate. Oh shit! That's Yeah, that's funny, man.
Anyway.
Instead of Craig Fitzgibbon
Oh yeah, point.
driving an L15 to
Yeah.
Roosters headquarters,
He
he just
doesn't
drives
wanna
the
pay
40
petrol.
minutes down.
Down the road, 40 minutes down the road.
40 minutes around the corner.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's funny. Anyway, good luck to him, bro. That's all I can say. Good luck to him, and let's see where that goes. Moving on, I've got a real big issue with a certain journalist this week. It's prompted me to start a new segment called Get Stuffed. You know, you can get stuffed this week. Paul Crawley from the Daily Telegraph for his comments on Penrith's on-field antics, apparently. Is he serious? I watched 360 last night. He almost cried. The way he was complaining and having a whinge about what Penrith were doing to the Raiders. You know, after that try in the corner, and how Crichton brought.
And Tapani.
Hey.
He might be a Canberra fan.
It's not.
Doesn't matter, mate. Like,
What the hell was that?
yeah,
I don't know. Did you say it? Did you guys say it?
the incident.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
the incident. But did you say what his comments?
I didn't listen to 360. No.
You say it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, bro. What's wrong with him? He was. Oh, mate. He actually said it's a disgrace to the game. They're acting like kids.
But what did they do? Just roughen up the opponents?
Yeah, and then they reacted, and then
Mate,
mate,
that's footy. Get over it.
thank you very much.
Get over it, mate. We're here to play a tough game, and you know, like, you can't throw punches, you can't put shoulder charges. I think a push and shove's not the worst thing. And you want to call them cocky and confident and all the rest of it.
That's it.
Mate, if that's how they want to play, let them play.
It'll
It'll give the opponents a bigger, you know, they'd want to beat Penrith even more. So it's just going to make it more enjoyable, like, you know.
Each week you hear these journos come out and say these players have no personalities. And now when they show personality and show a bit of rough edge and show a bit of cheerfulness for scoring and
A bit of arrogance.
a bit of arrogance, they start complaining about it. And they're not going to get the best of both worlds of no personalities, and when the players show personalities, they start complaining about it.
Bro, he wanted Crichton to be suspended.
For what?
For what he did.
For bringing Tapani into the huddle.
Yeah, because weren't we laughing about this a couple of years ago with Kenny Edwards at Parramatta?
Yeah, he did it with...
Wasn't that like we all laughed about it?
Yeah.
But now we want to suspend him and kick this guy out of the game because he has a bit of personality.
He mustn't like Penrith and probably a bit jealous of their success.
But I'm saying, are they looking for something to get angry about these guys? Because
Yeah.
last year they were the darlings,
Yeah.
Penrith. Now everyone's getting sick of their success.
After one game where they've carried on a bit.
And you don't think Canberra carried on?
Yeah, like, who knows what's being said on the field?
Come
like,
on,
you
man.
don't hear the niggle. Like, who knows what's being said? He
What
just
is-
wants to rub it in a bit.
Or all the other clubs, Angels or something. They all talk crap on the field. They all get into each other on the field.
And then after the game, we're all best mates and move on.
But 1 week ago, the same Paul Crawley was praising Tommy Raudonikis for his antics and for what he did. And we love it. I love that, watching that and then praising what he did on the field. He's a larrikin. He's just that's Tommy, you know what I mean? But when it comes to this day and age, I've got to show a bit of respect and show a bit of... The Canberra CEO came out and said they should teach humility to his... The coach of the Panthers should teach his players humility. Get the hell over yourself. Get the hell over it, mate. What the hell? If you want to do something about it and you don't want them to taunt you and you don't want them to give it to you and get in your face, beat them. Yeah? Beat them. Come up with a plan and beat them. Stop having a whinge to the journos. Stop having a sook about what they're doing and beat them. Then they won't talk. True? Man, I'm just... That was too much for me, man. I don't get... I swear to God, that was
It looks
too
like
much.
Paul got under your skin.
Mate, mate, that guy... I don't know how he's still got a job, honestly, coming up with that crap. But the thing that got me was the other journos jumped on with him and they were like, yeah, we agree. What do you mean you agree? I don't understand.
Well, look, the journos that are complaining means that their teams aren't succeeding.
No, but it's not even that. I mean, you can't be biased like that if you're a journo. You can't be siding with certain players and certain teams.
What do you mean? I've heard commentators be biased on the
But
radio.
that's different. They've got jobs with the clubs, not the journos. Journos don't have jobs with the clubs. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, build a bridge and get the hell over it. Look, I'll say one thing, but in Canberra's defence, they got fined like $10,000 or something because the trainer... Yeah, Canberra, because the trainer got involved or whatever. I don't think they should have been fined in any circumstance there.
Why would a trainer get involved?
Because he got involved. He grabbed Fisher Harris. Fisher Harris almost threw a punch at him.
At the trainer or at a player?
At the trainer, because the trainer grabbed him. What's the trainer get involved for? But they shouldn't have fined him. It was just in the heat of the moment. You know what I mean? It was just... no, he shouldn't be there, but I don't think he should have been
I reckon
fined.
Canberra
It was a bit
deserved
over
that fine. I reckon Canberra deserved that fine.
Nah, I don't think
I don't
so.
think trainers should be getting involved.
No,
in
of
this
course
stuff.
not, but I don't think they deserve the fine. I mean, like... Because no, whatever happens on the field, when that bell goes, they all shake hands, they all have a laugh, and that's it. They get over it. But again, journos once again want to prolong the situation and make this more serious than it is. It's so dumb. Stuff him, man. That was so dumb, mate. Bloke was going to cry, man. I swear I was about to throw the shoe at the TV, mate, when I saw that. What was wrong with him? Any last words, boys, with that?
No, man. Just I think players wouldn't be listening to what the journos have to say. They'll just obviously stick to their own game. And if the journos don't like it, I suppose that's their job to report it, but doesn't mean anything will change.
No, the clubs, man. There's clubs. I was shocked that clubs are getting upset. Like I said, you want to do something about it. You want to stop them doing that. They're the youngest side in the comp, you know that. Combined games, they're the least experienced
And
team in
Bulldogs
the
are
comp.
second least.
Huh?
And Bulldogs are second least. One's coming last, one's coming first.
Go figure, man. You want, like I said, you want to do something about it. You want them to shut up. Beat them. Come up with a plan and beat them. They've won 23 of the last 24 games. They deserve to be arrogant. They deserve whatever the hell they want to do out there. They've earned it. Let's get straight into round 6 of the Telstra Premiership. Is that right?
Yep.
Speaking of Penrith, they go to Brisbane.
40-0. 40 plus.
Yeah, I'm not sure about these cuts that Kevin made. Maybe they were necessary. The players he brought in aren't any better, to be honest, personally.
Yeah. Oh, look, I personally think that no bottom team, like when I say bottom team, I'm talking about the bottom 4, will compete with a top 6 side this year based off what we've seen over the past 5 rounds. And they're just the blowouts. Like, there's not been one close game when a rubbish side, or an underperforming side, I should say, has come up against a top side.
I just want to know where Brisbane's first half against Parramatta went.
I don't know.
Where did that go?
Yeah. It's like Parramatta went in the sheds, worked them out, and then came out and scored 24 unanswered.
Yeah, but then they never found it again, Brisbane.
And then, against the Dogs.
Nah, I didn't even think they found it then. They were just 2 crap teams
Yeah.
that couldn't score a try for 60 minutes.
then
and
they
one
just went
broke.
away for, yeah.
That's it. Like, they never found that form that I saw in the first half. Brisbane, any chance there, Ben?
No, I got them down to lose by 30.
I mean, I can't argue with that. Newcastle vs Sharks Friday night, first game.
And it's Cronulla's new coach, John Hannay's first game in the NRL.
And usually when they get a new coach a team, they bounce back, yeah?
Yeah. But I don't think so.
But
I think a lot of players are filthy. They don't want to do the club any justice, which is a shame. And it's sad to say because at the end of the day, they're still getting paid and all the rest of it. And, they've still got fans and members that, support the club. But I just think that it's been sort of an emotional week for a lot of the players. And you'll probably see Newcastle, a depleted Newcastle, but you'll probably see them beat the Sharks, especially at Newcastle too. So, I'd imagine Newcastle for that for me.
yeah, they're pretty even on the betting line, but
Yeah.
Cronulla's lost Dugan and Wade Graham. They're big losses for them. Newcastle get back Kurt Mann and Saifiri, I think, and Bradman Best. So you'd think at home they're
They'll do a job.
Yeah, they'll do a job easily.
So you're going with Newcastle?
Are you?
Yeah.
Friday night, looking forward to this one. Melbourne Storm versus the Sydney Roosters in Melbourne. Melbourne, what can you say about them? They're just cruising along. I mean, Canterbury scored 18 on them. I know. I'm trying to give the Bulldogs some credit here. But Sydney Roosters...
Scoring points isn't credit well deserved.
Yeah, fair point. Roosters, they were pretty poor against Cronulla for most of that game. Then that 7-minute period, they just went nuts. They've got that in them. I think Melbourne are playing better than the Roosters at the moment.
I just want to see how a young Sam Walker goes against
A good team.
a good team.
He might not be the best, for the game, but that's okay. He's at the end of the day, it's his third NRL game. We're not expecting him to sort of set the world on fire, but I just think Roosters with all the injuries they have, especially at dummy half and the suspension, you'll see probably Melbourne take this away. Brendan Smith, and then you got Harry Grant coming off the bench. Like, it's just, and then with their forward pack and Nico Hines as well. Like, I just think Melbourne are just going to be too strong on the day. I think Roosters will compete for the majority, but I think once it gets sort of the business end of it, you'll see Melbourne sort of take it home.
Be interesting to see, because I think is it Melbourne's right side or left side? It's the right side that's a bit weak with
Jennings and Smith.
Yeah.
But I think Brenko Lee's due back soon, so what you'll probably see is Lee into the centres and Smith on the wing.
But you'll see them probably attack the other side now, Roosters, or try and exploit that side, because they've been exploiting every time Brett Morris' side all year. They might go the other way this time. But I think Melbourne, yeah, it probably will be a close game, but I think they'll get the win. Ben?
It'll be another blockbuster like last year, a 1-pointer.
Who wins?
Melbourne.
Saturday afternoon in Mudgee, Manly versus the Gold Coast Titans. Manly, big in. Finally, Tommy Turbo's back. He changes the whole dynamic for that team in terms of what they can do in attack.
Do you reckon he's fit enough to stay in it?
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue. I think he's all right. I think everyone's overdoing the whole injury now. If he gets injured again, then I'd be questioning who the hell's looking after him over there. But I think that race he did at the start of the year stuffed him up a bit. He's not going to admit it, but
he admitted that, all right.
He didn't admit it. He said it was he fell in the bathroom. Yeah, it was bull crap. But it's going to be it'll be a tricky game for Gold Coast, I think. A bit tricky. It's a bit of a weird trip.
It will, but I think that they'll still
win.
They'll win, yeah. They've got a good side. They've got a well-balanced side. And look, Manly coming off a win. They'll obviously be going out with a lot of confidence in their game. So that might be a bit of a challenge. But I just think the Gold Coast are sort of, like from 1 to 17, I think they're just better on paper. And the way they've been playing this year, they've been showing that as well.
Look, yeah. I've gone the other way. I've tipped Manly with the big in for Tommy Turbo.
You think he's going to be that impactful?
Yeah. He's always been that impactful when he comes in for Manly.
He is. Yeah, no, they've got a really good percentage.
We're keeping you awake there, buddy.
Just yawning at the fact that you think Tommy Turbo is going to turn it all around for him.
I think eventually they're going to get better with him if he stays. The longer he stays on the field, the better they're going to go. But yeah, I think Gold Coast will win this. They should win this, Next game Saturday, the Rabbitohs, Tigers. They all happened last week. That was pathetic first half. Second half, okay, but...
Yeah, it only finished 34-30, didn't it?
And Dewey missed how many kicks?
No, I didn't watch the second half.
I like what they've done this week. They've brought in a young kid by the name of Jock Madden.
Jock Madden. You seen much of him there in the New South Wales Cup?
Isn't it Simpkin?
Jake Simpkin.
Burn, behave.
You seen much of Jake Simpkin in the New South Wales Cup?
He carved up on the weekend.
He did. He ran him
up. Are you awake, mate? Are you here?
Yeah.
Jock Madden.
Poor bloke. You just... Hey, far out, mate. Jock Madden's going to listen to this and think he's been picked, mate. South Sydney, Katie Walker's back.
They're on fire. They're just going to storm through, I reckon.
Yeah, I know.
Probably 54-4.
Yeah,
bit
Katie
drastic
Walker,
there, mate.
Reynolds against his club. That he'll be playing for next year.
You'll be in the sheds on Saturday night, will you?
A post game for the Tigers.
We need a report from that. The blow up that's gonna happen. We need a report from that one.
Let us know what Matt says.
I'll see how I go because I'm like after the blow up.
All right. Canberra versus Parramatta. Parramatta, Dylan
Big
Brown.
Game.
Big game. Dylan Brown's out.
Brown's out. Will Smith's in.
And for Canberra, Nickel Clockstad's out. He's a big out for
I
them.
wonder if Hodson's in doubt. Like, he came off pretty early last week, so
think
he's
it was
been named.
I think it was a cork. He might play. I think he will still play.
I reckon they'll
Madison's-
just put some heat in it and
Madison's in?
strap it up.
Madison's been named.
Has he?
Is he going to play this week? Feel bad for the bloke. Like,
I'm not sure if he's playing this week, mate.
well, they've named him. So
I reckon Brad Arthur's playing mind games.
What do you reckon, Ben? Is he in or not?
I reckon he might rest him another week. It's his superstar player. Let's just admit that.
it's going to be interesting who bounces back or who's more likely to bounce back. It's in Canberra. Canberra's got a pretty good record down there, the Raiders.
Parramatta always struggle when they go down to Canberra.
Yeah, and Brown's a pretty big loss, but I mean, Will Smith's more than capable. I think he is.
Look, I think Parramatta, their past 2 weeks hasn't probably been their best. Like with the Tigers, they won, but they probably didn't play at the level that they played against. That second half against Brisbane or Melbourne, and Canberra is going to be a tough game, and obviously Caleb Aikens will come in, and he's well experienced. He played with Penrith last year, and
that's what makes me want to change my tip from Canberra to Para.
Not
Caleb Aikens at fullback.
not a fan.
Nah.
Oh well, we'll see what happens, but I reckon he'll have a good game. It's his first game for the club, and I'm sure he'd want to be out there wanting to impress. So
He'll be there for a while, so he needs to impress.
Yeah. So look, it'll be. This is probably the match of the round.
So
Obviously, Roosters and Melbourne. And these are probably the top two games.
This in terms of like, because either team season can go up from here, or they can go really bad run from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Melbourne and Roosters, they don't really like. Whoever loses that,
it
doesn't affect them.
They'll still be there.
This is a game that can affect either team here. So you going Para, Benny?
No, I'm going to leave my tip at Canberra. I won't take the risk with Para.
I thought, weren't you just changing it?
It makes you want to change it with Caleb Aikens at fullback.
I'm going to get Canberra just.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll say Para just to keep some people happy.
Go Para.
I'm going to give Canberra by 12.
All right. St. George Warriors Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock. For only a 2 o'clock game, I'm pretty happy about that. Warriors, they weren't that bad last week against
They
Manly.
weren't, but they're missing Aiden Fanua Blake. Big loss.
Yep, and they're missing a few other players as well, so that's an issue for them, getting some troops on the deck. St. George,
hot form,
but now there's expectation. There's a bit of pressure on them. People think, no one had this expectation on them, to win games. They're usually always underdogs. So
if they just go out there and do their jobs, go through the motions, and do what they've been. They haven't been doing anything special.
No.
They haven't been playing a way that's like, wow. They've just been completing their sets. They've been playing tough. They've been taking their opportunities. If they did that this week, there's no reason why they can't win again. And there's no reason why, they can't sort of build, a bit of momentum, a bit of a streak. So, because the Dragons have done this a few times in the past few years where, they've started off the year pretty strong and then sort of fallen towards the back end. So, they probably want to pace themselves, obviously, but I think these are the games you got to win if you want to be there in the finals.
And I got Josh Maguire coming into it. His name Jersey 20. He'll play.
Massive boost for the club.
Yeah.
He's obviously fit. He's been playing for the Cowboys.
But he doesn't have the pressure of he needs to lead the pack. Fits in.
Do your job.
That's it.
I like how Hook's bringing in his ex-Broncos players back into the mix.
Hook.
Bringing in the veterans, and they're doing their job. So McCullough has obviously been very impressive, and Norman showed up.
You reckon he's bringing back Carmichael Hunt as well, or
Darius Boyd will be
Darius Boyd?
soon, yeah.
You never know.
St. George should win,
Yeah.
but again, it's a tricky game because Warriors are more than capable.
Not to be spreading any rumours, but he might bring in Israel Folau next year.
Is that still on the cards? Is it?
That's a
Maybe.
big rumour.
You're the Oracle, mate. If you heard it here first, I'm telling you now. We'll go on St. George, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
By 24.
Probably not that much, but yep.
The last game of the round, North Queensland and Canterbury.
They leave the best for last, did they?
What a game.
What a 4 o'clock game. on
That's a
Channel
Friday
9.
6 p.m. game, I reckon.
Yeah, it is.
Or a Saturday 3 p.m.
No, it is. And they put it on Channel 9 prime time, 4 o'clock a Sunday
Just in
arvo.
case everyone wants to watch it.
Gus Gould's going to be there.
I honestly do not think we will win a game for a while.
No, I think we're winning this.
No.
I'm pretty confident.
Look,
In last week's performance, I know we got slapped 52-18, but there was attack. I finally saw a bit of attack.
you,
They took their foot off the pedal.
you asked me...
But I still saw a bit of attack.
If you asked me 5 or 6 weeks ago, are we winning this week? I'm saying yes, because I was quite optimistic.
Sorry, Research Guru, you're getting a bit too carried away there. Do you think Melbourne, Craig Bellamy, wanted 18 points scored against him?
No chance in the world.
Come on, man, stop that. Don't tell me they took their foot off the pedal.
They took their foot off the
No, stop that. I get that point. But don't tell me that he was happy 18 points to score against him. So they were trying not to let him
I
score.
reckon he was embarrassed because we
Of course
haven't
he's embarrassed.
we haven't scored a point for 3 weeks.
We haven't scored a point for 3 weeks, and we scored 18 against Melbourne. Because, mate, he was filthy with them, trust me. 100% was filthy.
Yeah.
But I like,
Thompson, a massive boost, obviously, for the Dogs.
Yeah.
But Jackson leaving will also hurt in regards to sort of that leadership around the park. There hasn't really been too many changes to the back line, which is sort of a bit worrying. But an article came out today saying that there's potentially 10 players of the 15 that are off contract this year that won't be getting a contract next year.
thank
And
God.
yeah, so maybe a couple of names there that I probably didn't agree with, but similar situation to the Sharks. They're obviously going to have to do what's right for the club, and if they can get a win this week, hopefully that gives the boys a bit of confidence, and they go into their next few games, with that attitude. But if we don't win this week, I reckon we'll struggle because I think we got Cronulla, then Parramatta, and then I think the Saints. So
Yeah, you got that right.
yeah, so.
I heard a little rumor that young Jackson Turpine might be coming off the bench to relieve Katoa in the hooking role.
From the start, you mean?
No, he'll be coming off the bench.
I think he's been doing that for the last 2.
What do you mean by a rumour?
He's
He's
been
been doing it every week for the
Been
past
doing that the
2
last
weeks.
2 weeks.
He's been coming on for the hooker.
Yes.
I thought he's been coming in for Josh Jackson.
He came on for Lewis in against the Bunnies and played dummy half for the whole game.
Yeah.
And Katoa went to the halves. And last week he was swapping with Katoa in the halves. But thank you for the rumour. You've shocked the rugby league world there.
Oh, you're a funny man, Dad.
So who are we tipping for this game?
I'm going Canterbury. I actually think we can. This is the only game we can win for a while. We're going to win this.
I'm going Cows.
I saw enough in the second half from the Cowboys dropping off in their performance. I know it's up there.
If they score 34 points on us, we got no chance.
Oh, I get that, but I don't think they're going to score 34 points on us.
I think
We'll
it'll be
find
the
out.
other way around.
We'll find out and see. What do you reckon, Ben? Who you backing?
I'm backing the Dogs. I'm
Yes.
going to go with my stupid heart and go the Dogs.
Yes, you do that. All right, we come to the end of our podcast. Benny, your segment, mate. Benny Confidential.
Benny Confidential.
Yeah. Who'd you see this week?
Who did I see this week?
Famous person.
Well, I'm going to be at the Tigers.
What's
game.
about where you're going to be? We're going to know that. That's next week. Leave that for next week. That story's next week. What'd you do this week?
What did I do this week?
Surely you at the Mounties game on the weekend?
Jesus, was there anyone? Were you not at the Mounties game?
Oh, yeah, I was. Wow, it was at Waika too.
Before the Tigers and Cowboys.
Yeah. So, walked past Alex Twal going in and out of the sheds. And
The mic's going in and out.
wished him the best of luck. And
Good fella.
yeah, he
Yeah.
is. I love Alex. Good bloke.
Good man. Anyone else bump into? Nothing?
Nothing.
Look, we're saving the best for next. Look, I'm expecting a big one next week, mate, because if we don't get a big one next week, this research jury is going to get a gig at the end soon. So there's pressure on you, mate. Thanks, boys. It's
Thanks
been
for
good.
having us, Sol. Hopefully Dogs get their first 2 points of the year, and
That's the hope.
yeah.
If we beat the
forget
Cowboys,
about it.
does that mean we come off last place or no?
Maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Nice.
Because I think the Broncos might get towed up this week and then for and against them.
Cowboys have a bad
It's
for
a
and against
shame
as
we're
well.
having this discussion, but yeah. Hopefully in a year's time it's a different story.
That's it. Thanks, Jacob. Benny, thank you.
So
No worries.
Thank you, Jacob. Guru, Research Guru, thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
You were better this week.
Better. I hardly spoke. That's
Like I said, you were better. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the footy. See you next week.
Jesus.
Cheers.